I welcome you to our reflection on the fifth Sunday of Easter. Again, we read from the Gospel of John. It is a short one, and permit me to read it. John chapter 13, verse 31 to 35. When Judas had gone, Jesus said, "Now has the Son of Man been glorified, and in him God has been glorified. If God has been glorified in him, God will in turn glorify him in himself, and will glorify him very soon. My little children, I shall not be with you much longer. I give you a new commandment. Love one another just as I have loved you. You also must love one another. By this love you have for one another, everyone will know that you are my disciples." The gospel reading this morning invites us to love. Love as God has loved us, as Jesus has loved us. It is quite interesting that this invitation, this instruction, this exhortation is coming at the moment that Jesus knew that his passion, death, his crucifixion was imminent. Normally, such should bring anger, but not for Jesus. He found it as a moment of glory. He saw it as something that brings to fulfillment, to culmination, his mission on earth. It is only through this moment of passion, this suffering, the crucifixion, his death, and eventually his resurrection, that God will be glorified. It is only through that people will come to know that truly he is the Son of God, and that becomes a moment of glory. It is paradoxical that pains, sufferings, something that humanly speaking we should avoid, becomes for Jesus something of glory. Something that will glorify God. And this becomes a challenge for us in our own pains and sufferings, in our challenges, in our difficulties. Do we persevere? Do we see it as leading us to where God eventually will be glorified? Or do we curse God? Do we abandon God? Does that bring the anger in us and make us even to resent God? But not for Jesus. To the world, the passion, the suffering is a shameful thing, a sign of failure. Yet for Jesus, it is a sign of glory. And it was through this, at this moment, that he taught this ultimate lesson of love. Love as I have loved you. How has Jesus loved us? He loved us to the point of giving himself, of dying for us. He showed his love to his disciples. A love that is a serving love, that calls to service. He showed this love by washing the feet of his disciples, exchanging his role and becoming a servant, attending to his followers. He loved them notwithstanding their weaknesses, their failures. He knew everything. He knew they were going to betray him. He knew they were going to deny him. He knew they were going to run away. Yet he loved them. He knows we are going to fail him, yet he loves us. He loved them to the end, and he died for them. Love as I have loved you. Such love is rare, it is unique, it is unconditional, it is sacrificial. However, it means to be a Christian, to be an imitator of Christ, to be the other Christ. Then we should imitate him in this love that is sacrificial, that is not conditional. Love as I have loved you. But to know or to love as Christ has loved us, we ought to experience that love. We should allow him to come into our lives, into the hidden places of our lives, to come through our brokenness, the wounds, the pains, those places that we keep hidden from others and even from ourselves, and sometimes hidden from God. Allow him to love you in those places. Because it is by this that people will come to understand and acknowledge and know that we are his disciples if we have love one for another. Not as we wish to be loved, not as we wish to love the other person, not love with vested interest, not selfish love, not love intending to gain something from that, but loving those that even make themselves unlovable. That is how he has loved us, to the extent of giving his life. No greater love does anyone have than to lay his life for his friends. So love becomes the most practical way of living out our discipleship. It is said that the world today does not need Christians who would win debates, but Christians who would bear witness in love. And we can begin that now. We can begin that today. Taking to heart these words of Jesus. And let us begin by being nice to those people that are queer, to those difficult persons that we meet at work, that stranger we meet in the street, at home, those that are difficult, even in our homes, in our families. Being gentle and friendly to that stranger we meet. Being kind to that neighbor who does not return your greeting. Being tolerant of that friend or family member who keeps hurting you. These are various ways of showing this love, of reciprocating this love. Jesus had already taught us or summarized the commandment, the 10 commandments, as love of God and love of neighbor. And now he is teaching us, as I have loved you. He's the epitome of love. Unconditional love, sacrificial love. Love that expects nothing in return. And this is the kind of love that transforms people. Both the one that loves and the one that is loved. It is the love that heals broken relationships. It is a love that saves. To show this love, Jesus gave himself totally to us. So this becomes a challenge for us. St. John of the Cross tells us that at the evening of our lives, we shall all be judged by love. Judged on love. And again he says, where there is no love, sow love, put love, and you withdraw love. Let us go and show this love. Love as God has loved us. And the sign of that love is the cross, which is a positive sign. Let us keep this always at heart and then challenge ourselves. Because this can be difficult, but of course with the grace of God and our own disposition, we shall be able to live according to this invitation to love. Remember, a new commandment I give to you. Love one another as I have loved you. And by this, people will know that you are my disciples.